Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. My name is Heiko. Today is time for another shave. And in the comment section of my videos, there is a huge list of comparisons you guys have asked for. And I want to work through the list of comparisons that you guys have requested. So I want to respond to your requests. Of course, I'm first going to work through the comparisons that I can already do because I already have both razors in hand. And then I want to try to work on things that maybe you requested, but I don't have the razors quite yet. Again, I will try to work with manufacturers. Maybe they want to send me a review sample. But for a lot of cases, that's just not possible. They are not doing that. They don't want to do this kind of social media support. I've thought of something that you guys might want to be part of. So I am going to create a membership for this channel. I think I'm going to have 2 or 3 different levels. Starting the first level very low, it's like $1.99 a month. Then second layer a little bit higher, and the third layer even higher. And there are going to be some member perks involved. We'll see how this develops over time. But that membership will directly allow you to support this channel. And the membership will then allow me to go out and buy razors that I cannot get my hands on any other way. And some of the razors, you guys know, you guys have a pretty exclusive taste. So have I. And a razor can easily cost $200-300 these days. And if I would go out and buy a $300 razor every time I get a comparison request for one, I think I would be bankrupt pretty quickly, or I would be in the doghouse because my kids would have to eat ramen noodle every night out of a, plastic cup. So anyways, you guys understand. And there has already been support from you guys in the past, and I really appreciate that. And a lot of manufacturers, they are also willing to just send out review samples, which I really highly appreciate. But for those cases where we just can't make it happen any other way, I think a membership would be a great idea. And like I said, there is no pressure behind it. If you guys just want to subscribe and comment and like the videos, that's perfectly fine. And that does the trick for me. But if you want to actively participate and have a little bit more influence on what we're actually going to be buying for this channel and reviewing for this channel, and then with the material that we buy for reviews, we can also do more giveaways at the end because giveaways are also, unfortunately, not free. So anyways, today's comparison, I was asked now multiple times to compare the Above the Tie S1 Slant. I already have a video out about this one, so you should be able to find in my playlist or in my video list this review or the review of this razor. And we are going to put up against it the Timeless Aluminum Slant. And they are similar but different. Let's go through the similarities. They're both made in the United States. Of course, 2 different companies, Above the Tie and Timeless. They are both slant razors. And that's almost where the similarities end. One is made completely out of aluminum. The other one is completely made out of stainless steel. One is a relatively affordable razor. So this one here is a $69 razor from Timeless in Ohio. And this one here starts at $199 depending on what finish you want. You can also get this one in titanium, which is going to be, of course, more expensive than the stainless steel. So this is the classic finish. There's also a polished finish. And then, like I said, there is titanium available. They also make a stand for it. The aluminum slant, you can also get a stand for it. I think I actually have that here. So here's a little aluminum stand with a Timeless logo at the bottom. And for the S1 Slant, they also make a stainless steel stand, which I have here. No branding at the bottom, unfortunately. So those 2 razors, both slants, they are, even from the blade geometry and the feel, a little bit different. So this one here, the S1 Slant, and so that I don't tell you wrong numbers, let me just open it real quick. I have them both here already open. Has a relatively small blade gap of 0.58, and the Timeless is a 0.86. So the aluminum has a larger blade gap. This one here is described as a neutral blade exposure, and this one has a negative negative 0.002 millimeters blade exposure. So we can both probably call them neutral, because 0.002 millimeters, that's 2/1000 of a millimeter of a negative exposure. That is pretty much right there. So 0.86 and 0.558 blade gap, that is quite significantly different. You can also see just the difference in gap size between the comb and the cap. Then you can probably also tell that the slope is in two different directions. So yeah, they're just sloping in two different directions. So the blade is going to be torsioned into the slant shape in two different directions. Doesn't make any difference. I don't think it would really make any difference if they would make a right slope or a right slant and a left slant of the S1 with everything else the same. I don't think you would be able to tell the difference. Yeah, and what else do we have here? So a typical three-piece design. Let's weigh them against each other. So for the guys that like the heavier one, the S1 weighs 111 grams. And zero this. No, let's try this one more time. Maybe my scale was off. No, 111. And then this aluminum one here from Timeless, 44. So there is a significant weight difference. What you can maybe also make out is that this one here is slanted a little harder than the Timeless. So that has an effect on how much tension is put on the blade. We'll see if we will actually be able to make this out while we're shaving. All right, what else are we going to use? Since both are made in the United States, I put my USA t-shirt on. We're going to grab Heritage from Razor Emporium. I have the matching balm and the matching aftershave. We're going to use both. And then on top of that, we're going to use two Persona Super made in the United States. They're comfort coated, whatever that means. It's probably some sort of PTFE coating to make them slippery. These blades both have been used once. I have to slowly work through my magnets here. I have a magnet for 1-time use, 2-time use, 3-time use, and then usually I chug them into my little my blade bank over here. You guys don't forget that I also have a second base plate for the S1 slant, which makes it an S1 slant open comb. But today we're going to compare closed comb against closed comb. I think the open comb is different enough from the closed comb that this would be a little bit of a skewed comparison. So maybe we can intentionally use the S1 slant open comb against something that you guys think I should compare it against. Maybe the Lupo 95 open comb stainless steel. That's not a slant though. Yeah, so let's get going here. So let's grab the soap. I'm going to use my favorite little shave bowl here. I'm not a shave bowl connoisseur. I only have 3, maybe 4 shave bowls in use. I have a couple more that are hidden away, and I have a scuttle. But that's pretty much it, and that's pretty much all I need. I think that would be overdoing it, having 20 shave bowls sitting here. You guys tell me what you think about that. Maybe you have a favorite shave bowl that changed your shaving experience. Let me know what you think, and maybe we can find something that's more interesting than a white plastic shave bowl for the future. All right, so I have the soap already squished here to the bottom. I just scoop it out because, you know, those are such big containers, and I don't like to introduce water to those. Lasts a little longer, I think. You know, they will not spoil, so to speak. All right, and then let's load up the razor blades here. S1 Slant. The S1 Slant, they don't really have serial number at the bottom of the base plate. There's just the above the Thai brand logo. The alignment mechanism here on the 3-piece is a little different than the normal, you know, what you see on other razors. The alignment pins are much smaller and they are in a different location. So when you marry it up with a blade, let's do that here real quick. They actually touch the blade in a very narrow location. And that's a little different from the conventional stuff that you see on other razors. But we're just going to marry it up now. So top cap on my hand, blade on top. Then for slant razors, sometimes you have to wiggle them a little bit so that it all falls in place, because you are putting quite a bit of tension on those blades. And then we put the handle on. This is a solid chunk of stainless steel, conventional knurling, which can be made with a lathe. If you have a knurling tool for your lathe, you can pretty much recreate this handle here. So that looks good. Alignment looks good. Here you can see the blade gap. In the past, I have complained a little bit that this tends to be pretty tight and very closed up for the lather and the stubbles. We'll see if it again becomes a problem. Here on this puppy, this is now the Timeless. There is a little washer that they put on there to protect the base plate, but also keep the handle tight. There is a chance that in my original video, the S1 Slant had also a washer, and I've since lost it because I've actually used the S1 Slant for daily use for quite a while. Enjoy it. And I might have lost a little washer there. Sometimes they're white. I put them down on my countertop and they pretty much, it's this really busy looking white, gray, black granite, and stuff that's white or black just disappears. And then, you know, they go down the drain and whatnot. So anyways, here now the two razors next to each other. You can already make out the difference in blade gap. So there is quite significant blade gap difference between those two razors. We'll see if this will really make a huge difference. All right, so we have razors loaded. We have the Heritage shaving soap from Razor Emporium. Let me just make an attempt in scent description. Very, very clean. Very clean. It's very if you close your eyes and you think of a barber shop and what kind of scent you would get from a shave soap at a barber shop, this is what I would come up with. It's like this clean linen. It's not too overpowering. It's actually mildly scented, slightly powdery, kind of, you know, the typical gentleman just got a shave and that's what they smell like. That's what I imagine. And then, like I said, I have the balm and the splash. And here you can again see, I've mentioned that in a few videos, when a artisan maker makes aftershaves, they usually don't put emulsifiers in there, which is just another chemical to mix up the oily and the watery parts of this splash together. So an emulsifier is just another chemical that binds them together, and so they will not separate from each other. I actually like it with less chemicals and less stuff in it. So Razor Emporium does the right thing. You just shake up the bottle, and once you have it shaken like this and it's kind of a milky looking, then you pour it in your hand. All right. I wanted to use an American pre-shave, so I'm just gonna go with a Tube 2.0 by PAA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This one here is the bamboo charcoal infused one that supposedly helps with exfoliation of the skin. I've already washed my face. Now, they usually recommend that you first degrease your face with this and then wash it off and then apply it again. We're not going to do that. We're just going to apply once. So this is really easy to do. This stick format is kind of like a deodorant stick. Goes on really easy. Then I usually add a little bit more water and just rub a little bit until I see it foam up. And that's pretty much just another layer of soap in a way. I bet I could shave with this if I wanted to. The Tube 2.0 is mentholated, which I really like, but it doesn't interfere with the scent of the soap. And now we're going to grab a, I don't think I have a US made brush other than, yeah, my own creation. So, no, actually I do have my Timeless. We just used it in a shave though. So I don't want to bore you to death, always use the same brush. Let's use another brush. Yeah, let's use the Supply shave brush. This is provided to me by Supply. It's a synthetic knot in a aluminum handle, and I haven't used it in a while, so we're just going to use this one. Dip it in water, squeeze out most of the water, and then we're going to go into my little shave bowl here. Yeah, the handle is aluminum. If you drop that on your tile, you might break a tile. It's pretty chunky. The knot is really nice. It has a little bit of some backbone to it, but the tips of the bristles are soft. And that is important. I like that. And lots of natural bristle brushes like boar, horse, Badger, they can be a little bit more prickly, and it takes a while to break them in and to make them softer over time. And I think a Badger brush is a good idea if you are a shaver that only has one brush, or maybe a couple, and you use your Badger brush very often, so you have a lot of exposure to soap to your face with that brush, and it gets broken in really well. If I have a lot of Badger brushes, they only get occasional use. They are all very prickly still. So I'm a big fan of synthetic. They have served me well, and I like the ones that are a little bit harder, a little stiffer. They have a little bit more backbone, and look at this, how this builds up here. Really nice. All right, and we're gonna scrape off some, or else I'm just gonna sling it all over the place. We're gonna go right in my face. Brush is doing a good job. Look at this. Oh, love it. The scent is really nice. The first time I used the Heritage, I think was around July 4th. I wanted to do a Independence Day shave that was kind of delayed because the razor didn't arrive. UPS kind of messed the delivery up. They charged for overnight shipping, but then they really did a 3-day delivery, so it was kind of pointless. But the first time I used this, I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good. It's an artisan soap, so it's small batch. It's not like the massive production, industrial production soaps that you can buy. All right, this is perfect. That feels really good. This is a very good soap. I forgot, is this a vegan or is this a tallow-based soap? Does it say on here? Stearic acid, potassium hydroxide, shea butter, fragrance, sodium. Now this seems to be a vegan option, no tallow in it, but still, I'm a big fan of tallow soaps, to be honest. But this really, the scent is great. It doesn't burn my skin. There's no irritation going on. And now let's get shaving. S1 Slant on the right, Timeless on the left. And we're just gonna do 2 passes most likely. I have about 3 days of growth in my face. I'm currently working night shift, so night shift, really nobody looks at me, so I can grow it out a few days. Here we go. With a grain, with a Persona Super Blade. And this is a very mild slant razor. That's not a bad thing, so don't take me wrong here. This is a mild, very friendly slant razor that almost anyone can shave with. And I don't seem to have any problems with clogging. Stuff comes out the bottom. That's how it's supposed to be. This soap lends itself to it. It's not super creamy. It's more the light type, which is good. Let's do a quick timeless here on this side just to give a direct comparison. Yeah, I can tell that there is more blade gap. There is a little bit more blade feel, but not excessively so. So this is maybe ever so slightly more aggressive, but that's something that a lot of guys will eventually want. So if you've just started out, you probably want something in the realm of the S1 Slant. And then as you get more experience, and I've been now shaving exclusively with DE razors for about 2 years, about 2 years. And I'm more and more drawn to the more aggressive razors. So currently, for daily use, I use my Lupo 95 open comb. So there's even a blade in there, so I almost cut myself. The Lupo 95 open comb by Razor Rock is quite a spicy razor. It's not a slouch, but I've found this to be so manageable from aggression level and blade feel and all that. And it's fast. You shave like 1 pass and your stubbles are gone. And then if I really do a second pass in the morning, then I'm already BBS pretty much. Yeah, you can definitely tell a difference in the weight. I mean, this one here is almost 3 times as heavy as the aluminum Slant here. This one has a little bit more inbuilt aggression and blade feel. But if I would have to put this on my aggressiveness scale, the Heiko aggressiveness scale, the S1 Slant would be clearly at a 1. Correction, the S1 Slant, I got it right. S1 Slant at a 1. And the Timeless The timeless aluminum slant would be a 1.5 to 1.75, so to speak. It's just slightly more aggressive. Has a little bit more blade feel, not much though, not much more though. They are very, very forgiving, both of them. There is absolutely nothing wrong with either. And really it comes down to your, design preference, the look. This handle is a little thicker. The knurling on here is probably made in like a 5XC CNC machine, whereas this is probably made in a conventional lathe. The timeless, they have more engraving going on. There's some branding at the bottom of the handle as well. It also says what blade gap it has. It's a slant 0.86 millimeters. And here above the tie, just the brand logo, and that is it. But overall, those razors are fairly close to each other. This is not raw aluminum, this is anodized. So they say that there's not going to be any problem with corrosion. So this has a anodization at the surface, so this is not going to corrode, or at least not unless you damage it. If you wear it, if the coating wears off, then it will start getting this gray aluminum oxide layer. My goodness, can't speak. And that's going to be ugly, but they say that that's not a problem with this because it's anodized and shiny. And yeah, I gotta say, if we now look at the comparison here, there is a little bit more left here on the S1 slant side. As you can see, it is a milder razor, and I have quite a significant amount of stubble, especially here in my chin and jawline area. And the aluminum slant by Timeless with a larger blade gap can handle that a little better. All right, let's lather up a second time, dipping my brush into my emesis basin to pick up some water. And as you guys know, I always just go over top of what's left from the first lather. I don't wash off in between passes. I think that is a little bit of a waste of time because you ultimately want to put on soap again anyways. Oh, the scent is so amazing. This is really becoming one of my favorites now. I mean, I'm still a Proraso Green man for the daily use, but this one here, from a artisan soap maker perspective, or the fancier soaps and aftershaves that I have, this is really great. Oh, I love the scent. Oh man, that is so good. All right, now we're gonna do second pass across the grain. This is really a very friendly little razor. One thing that I haven't pointed out yet, so you see that it has those little notches in the comb, right? So it's kind of a hybrid between an open and a closed comb, and that probably also helps with delivering the lather to the channels down here. And then the other thing that I really, really enjoy is blades covered and edges are rounded over. Yay, above the tie. That's an A+. It needs to be that way. Every razor that comes out of a factory, like here, for example, what's this here? This is a Müller R89, I believe. Pointy, sharp edges, and I don't enjoy that. I don't like that. They all just need to learn that these corners need to be rounded, because when you push that against your face, you can feel that it's rounded, versus other razors are really, not so nice. So above the tie, got it. Maybe they watched my videos and they thought, oh yeah, we're better not getting this German guy angry. Yeah, this is a mild razor. If you want heirloom quality that you can pass down to your grandkids, this one would do it. 316L stainless steel, made in the United States. I want to say they are located in San Diego. I can't say that for sure where this particular razor is made. They have just joined forces with Blackland razors. Blackland and Above the Tie, I guess they are now one bigger conglomeration of razor manufacturers. Oh, family's coming home. Bear with background noise. Maybe someone is gonna walk right into the bathroom here, but just giving you a heads up. All right, and now we're gonna do the same with the Timeless. Once most of the stubbles are gone, both razors feel really mild. I haven't talked about the Persona Super much yet because those blades are just so nice. They don't give me any tugging. There's barely anything that you notice about the blade other than that it's sharp. Even though it was already a used blade, it just takes the stuff right off. It doesn't tug, not even. Upper lip is kind of my most sensitive area, and if I have a lot of stubbles here and the razor blade just pulls on the blade, pulls on the stubble instead of cutting it off, I can immediately tell if a blade is sharp or not, and this is sharp. So second use on those blades, and they're super sharp, no problem. All right, and yeah, so we did the second pass with both razors. Let's do a quick little comparison. So the A1, the above the tie S1 Slant, definitely had a chance to catch up. So now the result on both sides is pretty much identical, feels the same. So pretty much the Timeless had a little easier time with the first pass to lop it down because of its larger blade gap. And then once you do a second or even a third pass, they just catch up to each other and result is perfect. I missed a couple stubbles up here. So with the close comb, I'm very happy to do the rotating motion to get under my nose. Kind of like that. Or just go sideways under my nose. And that works with both razors perfectly. Since I just praised the above the tie S1 Slant for its rounded corners, I gotta say Timeless also got the message because those little edges here are also rounded over. So blade tabs are also covered and rounded over. So those two razors are pretty much as good as they can be from a head design perspective. I have pointed that out before when I did the Lupo 95 open comb, that they have those little cut-ins or cutouts here on the side, which brings the cutting edge of the blade closer to the outside edge of the razor and also kind of molds everything and rounds it over. I think this is absolutely the best design for a razor head. So I think this takes another step in machining it, of course. Blade tab is covered up and you are so close to the cutting edge of the blade. Sorry, this is dirty because it was just used. That is the best design. But then if I can't get that on every razor, then I like the rounded over corners. So these two did a really good job. Lengthwise, they are pretty much identical. So the handling feels similar, but you can definitely tell if you compare them to each other, this is much lighter than this. This would make a pretty good travel razor. It doesn't add too much weight to your luggage. But overall, I mean, this is daily use territory here. I really like it a lot. It has enough efficiency that you can take down a 2-3 day growth stubble without doing multiple passes. If you always do 2 or 3 passes, then you would be fine with either. But like I said, if you have a little bit more experience in wet shaving, you will tend to wander towards the more aggressive side. So when I first started out, an R41 by Mühle was like, oh my goodness, that's scary and I'm gonna have to get some Band-Aids. Nowadays, I can take the R41 and just use it. I just have to be careful, but it's not as scary anymore. And you will make the same experience as you shave. You will harden your skin, I think. Your technique gets dialed in, and then you will not have the problem of nicking yourself all the time. I probably jinxed myself, but I haven't nicked myself in quite a while. And I've now stopped doing 3-pass shaves just because of ingrown hair, always in this section here. If I do 3 passes over my jawline, I think I'm cutting them too short. I'm cutting them below the skin and then they grow into the skin instead of out of the skin. And therefore, 2 passes is now my mode of operation. Both razors great. $199, I think, starting price, the classic finish, and this is $69 as it is. And I like them both. I have used them both. I can use both for daily shaving. It's just a matter of budget, material preference, and maybe you want a little bit more blade gap or you want a little less blade gap. Both are made in the United States. I think San Diego, I'm not sure, and Ohio. All right, guys, the soap was great. There's still so much left. I could do 5 more passes. Maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. All right, let's rinse off real quick. That was great. Soap has a good residual slickness, so it takes a little while to wash it off, but then it doesn't leave anything behind. So my skin is clean and dry now. And now we're going to take the splash, first of all. Alcohol based, so if you have any kind of irritation, there might be a little bit of some tingling. I just shook it up, as you can see. And that's alcohol. Witch hazel is already in there, which is a facial toner, glycerin, alum. People always ask me to use alum all the time. There's alum in here and some essential oils and fragrance. Then there's a little stopper in there so you can control how much comes out. Oh yeah, very good. This is, of course, going to be a little bit more powerful in scent than the soap, obviously. But it's also one of those traditional, classical kind of barbershop glycerin. I can feel a little oily substance. That's good for your skin. Ah, love it. Oh, and there's no irritation. There's nothing going on here. So perfect. And this stuff, this is, if you can see this, it's so thick. You kind of have to agitate it a little bit. Just be careful. This is real glass. So if you're worried about microplastics and all that kind of stuff, this is actual glass. I like that a lot. And this stuff is so rich, just don't get too much on your hand. So you have to agitate a little bit and then tap, tap, tap until you have the right amount. And this is, of course, way too much. Perfect. Oh, this is so good. The scent is amazing. And absolutely one of my new favorites. If the supply and money would not be an object, I would just, use this daily. It's really nice. Witch hazel again, alcohol, water, sweet almond oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, shea butter, wax, germile. I think I explained that before. This is a preservative, essential oils, and fragrance. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, just the right mixture of components in here in those products. So thanks to Razor Emporium for those great products. Relatively affordable. I mean, we're talking, what is it? A little over $40 for a combo. And that's 2 bottles plus a soap. I'll put some links down below. I'm not 100%, don't quote me on the pricing. They change sometimes. Maybe they are on sale. And if you have never purchased anything from Razor Emporium, they usually give you a welcome window where you can put in your email and you get 10% off. So that's pretty good. So 10% off $40, $4. That's pretty good. All right. That was it. I hope you guys enjoyed this comparison. So we got the first knocked out of the way. Like I said, I'm going to be working on this membership lineup, the different levels and the naming convention and the perks, what the members are receiving that non-members will not receive. And then eventually this is going to go live. I will announce that one more time in a future video when I'm actually ready to go with that. Or I put a post somewhere in the community section. Just look out for that if you want to directly have an influence on what's going on here and what we buy. And then, make comparison happen that currently can't happen because I don't have the razors. Alrighty guys, that's it. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Bye.